Okay.
Because I think some people asked to have it, and I'm using a new software. It's no more PowerPoint, and I'm going to see if it works. So I'm sorry. You see the picture of the group?
Yes.
Yeah. We do.
I'm sorry, Sabine, because I think you left before we took that picture, and
Yeah, you took one before I left when we were there.
okay. So
But it's okay. I know that I was there.
I'm sorry. I have to change and to find the other one. So just a few reflections. So is it working? Yes. So I think to live with COVID as therapist, for me, I never heard of that virus before January this year. And during all that time where it was so present, I never saw it. I never heard it. I never smelled it. I never tasted it. I never touched it. So what's the reality once again? I think what makes this virus so important is only communication. That communication all over the world that makes that virus real. And the hype opens new interpretations, new social interactions, new behaviors worldwide. It's amazing. It's the first time I think that's such an event touching the whole planet. And you see how the virus has the same shape than the Earth also. And so that's amazing. What's amazing too for me is a loss, the strange loss of the knowers. They were lost. The scientists, the political, everybody was lost. It surprised everybody, except a few people. And so we have to think about, are we followers? Are we getting some independence? That's just what Céline said, and feedback. We experienced in France autonomy and solidarity. It's amazing how the whole town where I live stopped everything. Everyone was obeying. That was really amazing, what happened there. And so is there that what came out is some ethical questions about justice, about autonomy. Are we real human, or are we just animal following, that what's said? Question about beneficence, non-malevolence. And so communication is what changed everything, I think. It results in a double bind dilemma in our society, in our ourselves. What shall we do? Just a question you had, Céline. Do we need to follow the law? Do we need to obey without responsibility? Can we decide by ourselves and be actors of our own life, but it can be scary for others? That's question that came out, I think. And so there's a collective responsibility of what happened now and consequences on the society. I think the human society on Earth will never be the same than before. And so the authorities put laws, and the political leaders, followed these laws because they are responsibilities. And at that time, it was no more me. So can we accept that transfer of responsibility? Are we just a follower? What is the individual responsibility? We have. What's the personal decision of treating patients? People ask us to treat them. If we are worrying, the consequences is, these laws, it's freeze, fight or flight, and there's going to be a lot of consequences on our immune system, our autonomic nervous system, on the, and on our life. Fear is so powerful. When an animal is afraid, it will be killed by predator. And for us, it's the same. So we can't be afraid, I think. And the media, the television, the internet, spread a lot of fear. That's very dangerous, I think. And it's conditioning our brain. And so there's new circuits open in our brain. And that gave new epigenetic memories, not only for now, but for the years to come, and for our children and for the next generations. I think that's really important moment to think. And then, so if we want to be author and to lead our own life, our immune system, is so powerful that it will lead, but it would be a leader. But the immune system is dependent of the environment. So we have to be aware and discuss, I think, more on that level. And then my answer, my choice, not only mine, but I think last time we spoke together, that's what came out, and many people say that. I think the first choice is the one which is good for ourselves first, I think. So what I decided, I did video, and exercise, and I tried to tell my patients in that way to breathe, to move, to exercise, to drink and eat good food, to think positive, to amplify joy, freedom, love, and then we can co-create our life now. We have to learn by ourselves, not being a follower, but I think now we are going to a new, era that has been announced by a lot of people around. And this era is to follow the way of the heart. Then it expands our energy field, and it led to an expansion of universal energy field. Everything is part of us. We are not alone, but we are not like in isolation. We are part of us. And the real senses that's coming from ourselves is not the senses we are used to. As I said, the virus, we didn't see it, we didn't hear it, we didn't felt it. But I think this pandemic should lead us to be aware of the great senses, to see not only with our eyes, to hear with our inner ears, to smell, from what that good smell that's coming from inside. And in our work with touch, we are developing new capacity of touch, and we can help a lot just for that. In that sense, I think the virus is a good teacher. Invisible, odorless, inaudible, untouchable, insensitive, tasteless. The visible part of what we are shows the structure. And in osteopathy, for instance, we say we work with the structure. And what's interesting now, it's ahead of the structure. The structure is coming from a form, and the form is coming from an information field. That's what we are perceiving now. These invisible, non-sensibles that reveal a mystery. And I like that idea of being at the new beginning of something that mysterious. So as everything is linked, so the virus, it's part of our reality. The linear time, past, present, future, now is not the real one. We are discovering, taking off the cover of a new reality, and we are like within a contraction preceding a new birth. There may be other contractions coming. Maybe there's going to be other virus in the future. And we just need to learn from now to feel what's changing inside ourselves first. We can see ourselves integrating this virus. It's like we are pregnant, you know, from thanks to that virus, I think. And then we are giving birth to the new ourselves. As health practitioner, our priority is to be aware of that birth. Then we can take care of our patient from this new awareness. It's a new vision of our potential, of our beauty, of love, of joy. You know, that's, I think, the path, you know, where we are. It's a, I like these days, I like the idea of a pathless osteopath, you know, that's what I think now. So into that quietness, that dynamic stillness, we have a reflection of our new self. If the physical body, the law is movement, the law in that new world, I think it's quietness, calm, silence. It can be perceived in a still water. When you are under a cascade, you can feel the stillness of the water. When you are in a very quiet place, you can feel the still water and the information coming from that still water. So I just put a few phrases, you know that we exchange in the last weeks. I think this one is Casey who sent us. When the dewdrop slips into the shining sea, it's one with the consciousness of the ocean and indistinguishable from it. Another idea, it's a song I sent to you from Alan Stone, you know, that I still like. Freedom, incredible vibration of love rushes through me. You know, you can listen to that. When I listen to that song, you know, I feel really strong and happy when that. Or what I send you from Jacques Vigne, sitting in silence, doing nothing, spring is coming. During this 2 months where I didn't work, I really appreciate being sitting in silence, doing nothing. And then now I feel the kind of spring is coming now. So maybe you want to add your part to that. It's a new idea, you know, I'm just sharing, and then we may have a meditation. I will propose you a heart-centered meditation that I called the third ventricle of the heart. We know the ventricles of the brain, you know, with the 2 lateral ventricles, the third ventricle and the fourth ventricle. And I think now there's 2 ventricles on the heart, but I'm going to share with you how I feel about the third ventricle of the heart. So it's okay? You understood my English?
Yes, very good.
Okay. So what do you want to share? You know, it's maybe we can, I don't know how you can, yes.
I think it is a starting over in a way. You know, we've been kind of, at least I have been, and I think most of us have been cocooned in some way. Some of you with people. I was alone, so it was a little more of a intentional depth, you know. But coming out is as if we're redeciding what we want to do with each bit of it. The minute I took my first full work week, though, all of that went off into other people, you know. So then over the weekends, I rein it back in, go to the water. Anyway, I like the starting over. It's a truth that the pregnant idea got to me that way.
Thank you. Who didn't speak? Yes. Yeah. Sabine, what do you think?
What you just said makes me go very humble, in the sense that you've thought so deeply and felt so deeply about it, and it's really touching ground without me being able to put the words to it. What I feel when we were coming out of this, but we are working so much now because of all the backlogging we had from the patients who wanted to be seen and people who are desperate to be seen because they are not seen by doctors. They don't want to go to hospitals. They're really desperate. So we're working really hard on trying to adapt. And in a way, yes, it is new, because I always ask people, how did you come out of this? How did you get through it? How was it? And most people really say that it was really good for them, that they had time with their kids, they had time with the spouses, they had time to contemplate, do their house, renew nature, did their gardens, and actually made everything much more beautiful. So I think this lesson to be learned is also to always go back to that cocoon, if possible, if at all possible. I'm actually hesitant of going into normal life, even though I would enjoy it. I'm still very hesitant, as if I'm like, I'm just thinking about this dream that I once told you about, Bruno.
Yeah.
That I felt like sitting in a cage, and you just came there and opened the door. That was a dream. It was you. And it was obvious that I was sitting in a cage with an open door. I could have gone out. And now at the moment, I'd rather sit in my cage and know that the door is open, but I don't really want to be out so much. I don't know if you remember that dream. It's years ago.
When you speak of it, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. So also, what I feel is that it doesn't only bring out the good in people, it also brings out all the sides in people. Some people are really mean, really bad, and they're very egoistic, and it's really good if we're trying to sort of balance that out somehow. And
Thank you.
I feel so touched from your words, and as you saw, I took a photo of what you just put there in writing so that I can just read it again.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you. Mary, you want to share something? Thank you for the poem you sent us yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, we opened. I'm not telling anybody that I'm open, but I'm allowing people through my door that I trust who are asking for sessions. And it has been a lovely way to come back to the work with stillness, with reverence. I see that wearing a mask is not that big a deal, but when I do the intake, I don't have my mask on. I want to see their face and my face. I can stand 10 feet away from them. I want to feel their breath. I want to see them breathing. It's deepened my work and made me much more humble, which I thought I was pretty humble to begin with. But I'm just really grateful to be able to do any kind of work at all. A lot of my colleagues have chosen to be very afraid and have all these very rigid protocols. And it's not in my heart to do that. So I'm just doing it the way I see, to open and welcome people into my pool. I think I think COVID has done a lot of teaching. It's been an amazing teacher. So I
Mhm.
welcome all the lessons that it's given us.
Mm. I like that. Yeah, too. Thank you. Sarah Clinton, you want? Hello, Sarah Bond. See you.
Hi guys. I started back, so I've been back at work, I guess, 3 weeks now. And one of my colleagues is very nervous about her own health in the clinic. So we have the most rigid protocol happening, which I'm like you, Mary. I don't feel afraid for myself, but I respect that other people may, and so I'm trying to, you know, do my best to do everything to make other people also feel comfortable. And it's exhausting. It's incredible. I've changed my schedule, so I'm not working as much, but the cleaning in between, and it's just the whole day you're on. So I only open my schedule for about 6 weeks. So after my next schedule that I'm going to open is going to be a little bit different again. I think I'm going to work less. And COVID has been such a wonderful teacher for me. And I've appreciated getting together with you guys and other people from around the world that I don't usually get to connect with often. So that's been beautiful. And the lessons are, I'm so content with very little, actually, like really not much.
Mm.
And, so this wheel that you get on, you know, of having to work and having to do, and because you can, and people are asking for help, that you must. And so I'm really trying to feel for each person, am I called to treat this person? Is this really, am I called? And trying to go with those, that heart choice. And I've been doing a lot of yoga and meditation, and I'm loving that. And yeah, being in nature. And I don't know, the other question that's come was like, and it's come a few times throughout this time, especially during the shutdown, was like, what is it that I'm waiting for? Like, really, what are we all waiting for? We're waiting for things to open up, but like, we all have the choice to open up within ourselves and enjoy this present moment, which is exponentially enormous and has all the potential of everything. So what are we waiting for? Nothing. It's all here. So that's where I'm at.
Mm.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Bjorn, I saw it's open on you.
Yes. Bruno, I want to thank you for your ideas with what you shared with us. It's very brilliant, very touching. Thank you very much for that. In my opinion, this crisis, this COVID corona crisis is, oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. We can hear you.
But you can't see me anymore. Sorry. It's a chance, like in every crisis. You got a chance to change something, and you can change whatever. With the shutdown, it's like a reset, and we can come out a little bit new, like the phoenix, which comes out newborn. And it's a chance for our society. It's a chance for everyone. And we can take this chance or we can miss it. And it's a chance for the whole society with the economy and ecology to think about what has been wrong, what has could be better. But yeah, it's for everyone and for every nation, for every society, for every family to take this chance and to come out of this crisis new. And that's the great thing of it. We can learn of it. And what I learned, what is my new experience since we spoke the last time 4 weeks ago, what I try to make a challenge out of it when I work with this mask is to have the biggest smile under that mask which I can create, so that it would look ridiculous if someone would see me without this mask smiling like as much as I can. And to remember me all the time, have that big, unbelievable smile. That's a great challenge, with what I'm going to play with now. Yeah.
Thank you. Who wants to speak? I don't know. Sarah Bond?
It's been an amazing time. I think one learning is just, you know, like Casey was saying, she's had this time alone, and I've had this time with my family and have gotten to just learn some family dynamics that can be super challenging in terms of, and I apologize for the sound of the boat and the car, but you know, children so frustrated, and finding a way, it's not just quieting in myself, but finding a way to help the children and help my husband, and how we can all help each other to be more calm and to be more present and to listen more effectively. It's been a good time for tending the garden. It's been, I didn't need to close down because I work in a medical clinic, but I did close down because I was in Switzerland studying. And then when I came back after I closed down, then everything else closed down. So I closed down for maybe, I don't know how long, but one thing that's really happened is I've lost track of time, big time. And so my practice is now slower, and because I'm putting the space between the clients and I'm doing all the cleaning, and I'm not in fear, but I'm recognizing how much fear there is around and how intentionally we get to be in presence and not in fear, but to be aware of the fear and to honor the fear, because the fear's protecting people. It's their inclination to protect themselves. And so, you know, I wear the mask, and I ask that my clients wear the mask. It's really helped me with presence and stillness in the work and in the life. I'm meditating twice a day now, and I'm hiking, being in biophilia. So that has been really restorative for me. And I really have enjoyed our opportunities to meet together. Yeah, I thank you all.
Thank
and
you.
I love what you said, Bruno.
Thank you.
At the beginning. Thank you.
Wendy, you want to share?
Can share. I feel like for me, what's happening is I moved locations when my clinic, when my caseload went down quite a bit. And so now I'm working at a different location only 1 day a week and seeing patients on telemedicine still from home. And what I'm aware of is really needing a change with how I'm working, and that this is forcing that, and then not wanting to just get back into my same habits of working that I had pre-pandemic. And so just, yeah, spending a lot of time feeling what's needed and seeing also that, you know, there's the pandemic piece and then there's just all the protests that are here. And just, you know, kind of recognizing our own place in systemic racism and just seeing how horrible people can be to each other and how hard that is to see. I guess that's really affecting me right now. So being with that instead of ignoring it. I'm having more conversations with my family than I've had in a long time, and those feel really hard because I think my biological family has the same values as me, but they it really gets expressed differently around racism, policing issues, political issues. So, so that's where I am at.
Thank you for sharing. Deborah, you want to share?
Well, this has been an incredible time. Wendy was talking about the protests, and it made me cry. I moved out of my office this week. I gave up the lease for the first time in 18 years. And I've just started seeing clients from my Airbnb, making that my office, which felt really empowering, actually, for me to be able to do that. And I've scheduled to open July 1st, although I'm seeing one mentee at my home now. But my kids, I have a 36-year-old and a 38-year-old and a 30-year-old. And they both have been unemployed during this pandemic. And my daughter lives alone, except for her dog. And they went back to work yesterday, just yesterday. This is the first time we opened. And how hard it's been for them. I mean, and they're squabbling, you know, because of the tensions. People have been pent up, especially the young people. And it's a lot to hold. And then on the other side of it, I'm very hopeful, I'm very optimistic that this is a good thing, this virus. Casey, I thank you for that Zach Bush YouTube. The earth has a virus, for sure. And well, I just have to have faith in the order of the universe. And yeah. And I do miss, I've done some work online, but I'm really a touch person, and touch is so important to me. You know, yeah. So I'm looking forward to working from home and working a lot less, but just taking clients that I want to see. I want to see people who want to do work. There are a lot of people out there that will take care of the others, you know, should they call, but Yeah, and my husband and I, we're in our 70s, and so we are the vulnerable population, I guess. Even though I don't feel as vulnerable as I probably should, I guess. But I'm not out there protesting, which I'm a protester from way back. I'm an old hippie. So, but my daughter is, and my son is not, and so they're squabbling because that's, I don't know. And at the same time, I'm really enjoying. I have a lot of really wonderful friends that we Zoom, and I have a nice backyard, and they'll come over and we can be 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hopeful, I guess, and I think about what's going on, and this gentleman, Al Sharpton, who spoke at the Black man's funeral that started this whole Black Lives Matter protest. This is the time, he says. I think this is the time that we can actually make change. And I got my fingers crossed. There's so much that can be healed. And I think that we all had a lot of time to go inside and come out stronger. I liked your pregnant phrase, Bruno. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. But I was thinking just Bob Dylan has been singing for such a long time. Time are changing, I don't know when he wrote that song, but it was, I don't know, 40 years ago or something. Time are changing,
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Vilena, you're moving? You're ready to speak?
Yeah, hi
It's
everyone.
good to see your smile.
I can't see, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I can't see that I can't see myself on the,
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bruno, for the presentation and for those, yeah, there were some pieces in it too that were really, I think the potential of the time that we're in and the time. And so for me, I've also been, haven't opened, our office hasn't opened yet. We're still in shutdown here as far as being able to work and see people in our office. So I haven't gone back to work in that way yet. I've been seeing a few clients through Zoom, and so I feel like I'm in this place now of, I was kind of resonating with what Sabine was saying about having the cage door open, but choosing to stay inside. The rest of the restaurants have opened, and the people are starting to be more going out more, and I feel like I'm still in that phase in myself of sitting with the unknown and sitting with that space of, I don't know, I feel this potential and I still feel inward, and I'm not in that place yet of going out. And yeah, and so I'm really, for me, it's been a great time of really seeing how staying in and not being active, not being outward has really nourished me, and it's been a really good learning for me, actually, in a lot of ways. So I don't know how it's going to look coming forward from this. I'm looking at also going back to flying in August, which is still a ways away, and also looking how that potentially could impact my seeing clients, because I think there's some kind of I think if you're out of the state, you have to, when you come back, you need 2 weeks of self quarantining. So I have that to think about too, because if I do decide to go back to flying, then that would mean that I would need to take 2 weeks off from doing my practice, if that's how things are going to be. So I feel like I have in the future, I have some things to decide and look at, you know, like, do I want to go back to flying? And if so, what that might look like. I'm also looking at my office that I'm presently in, and I'm feeling much more positive about the office that I'm in, as far as I'm not feeling so much resistance to what's being asked, as far as, you know, all the protocols. I feel like that's actually loosened a bit, and I went in and I saw what would be, what it would look like, and it doesn't feel like that's overwhelmingly hard to do. That feels like it's, you know, okay. So, but I'm also looking at if I should continue there or not for other reasons. So I feel like I have a lot of decisions to make in the near future, and I'm not yet out of the inner cocoon yet to make those decisions. Yeah.
But do you think the quarantine will be there still in August? I hope it will be finished, no?
I think so, but I think there may be, if you try, I know right now what we need to do, part of our intake with clients, is we have to ask them if they've been out of state in the last 2 weeks. And if they have been out of state, then we can't, I mean, these are the rules, that we're not supposed to be able to see them if they've been traveling. And I think that would also be true for me. If I've been out of state, then I wouldn't be able to see people. And I don't know, that might change. And
I'm going to just jump in. Every state has a protocol that they have to meet. In Montana, we've lifted that quarantine already. But really, we have only now, we're just now our cases begin. But California hasn't lifted it at all. But my cousin who's there says 2 weeks or something like that. They're about to lift it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe by August, those won't be there, and that would be good, because that would make my life really complicated. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Marlyse, you want to share something? Just after your yoga course, maybe you need to rest.
No, I'm fine. Thank you. Well, I'm back to my practice right now. I should say that a lot of people are asking me for work, and I promised myself that I'm not gonna be working on the weekends. So even though people are, and this is the good thing. Then I said no. I resigned. I'm like no, and I've been working differently. I'm wearing a mask. I don't ask my, of course, I don't ask them to wear the mask. I'm doing it my own, and I let them free if they are fear. You know, if they are afraid of it or not, it's fine. It's fine with me. But I'm being back to practice, I guess, a month. It's been a month or 3 weeks, I don't know. And every single patient that I see is talking about the pandemic. It's just there all the time. Even we know we wanna kind of move on. Even the body is moving on. It's just like everybody is still on it. And on the other side, my son didn't go to school until 3 days ago. So I have been doing homeschooling and being with my husband, which in this kind of period, it's never happened. It's the first time in 10 years that we are together for such a long time, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's such an incredible time, and just, you know, loving the quality and family time that we're having, all the conversation that we're having, as well the sharing things in the house. You know, I'm always by myself with my son, and now we're two adults sharing. So it's been I'm very humble for this period of time, just being together. My husband won't be able to work for a year, so I must enjoy his company for a year. And I'm super happy. I'm not afraid about money wise. I'm thinking like you, Bruno, just asking less, having less. I've been throwing away a lot of things, and I guess I'm feeling lighter. So it just and I'm doing a lot of yoga and teaching a lot of yoga, which is I'm loving it. I'm just back on track as well, because I was so busy with the healing. I was putting the yoga on the side, and I'm like, no, I'm a yoga teacher. I have this skill inside of me, and I'm loving it. So I'm back on that, and I just it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to be able to do that again. And I'm sharing that very much. And the plants in my garden are loving the mantras so much. Like everything is blooming. And yeah, the house is happy about the mantra again, and my neighbors are not the mantras. So and yeah, it's been different. It's been different. And I'm, as you said, I mean, your meditation, your presentation was very beautiful, and I can feel, yes, there is a chance to change, you know. So let's see what's happening.
Thank you. Andrea, you want to share?
It's a little bit of everything everybody has been sharing. You know, there's these waves, and if I'm in my bubble, in the country, in nature, it's timeless, and it's really a beautiful time. There's so much going on in our country right now that when I peek out of the curtain, the chaos that's happening is just right outside the window. And I'll peek out, and I think there's a collective potential for healing, I hope, for our country, that there's things that are just been under rocks, the racism or the Native American issues that are part of our history that can't hide under the rocks anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think this time when people have been inside has been a percolation of many, many kinds of things. You know, our deep inner searching, the possibility for, or the, you know, impregnant moment for change. And also people have had time to look and think about and respond in different ways to things that have been there, but really not dealt with. So I have moments where I feel malaise at what's going on in our country. Sometimes I feel like I'm, instead of my dogs being part of my pack, I'm kind of part of their pack. And it's just like this timeless movement and flow of being, you know, where I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. And I like that. I like this ability to just respond in the moment instead of what the future or the past is. So it's a little bit of it's like everything. There's everything, every opportunity right here in this time. And for me, it's how do I want to proceed forward?
Mhm.
You know, and how do I want to let myself, I don't want to just be a voyeur to you know, I don't want to, we are all, how your presentation was so beautiful, and the strands of connection that we all are, that we could all feel. And I don't want to just be a voyeur to other people's pain or issues. If people are suffering, we all suffer. And if people are healthy, we all can be healthy. And so this Black Lives Matters thing, and the healing of the world and climate change, it's all part of the terrain that's really there for us to address and be present for, and not just voyeuristic too now. So how do I let myself feel instead of be distant to all that's going on, and yet not get pulled into the chaos? You know, that balance. So there's so much. And what Sarah said about, I've discovered how little I really need. You know, I love when you said that, Sarah. It's just, I can get by with so much less. So how do I want to fulcrum my life around that knowledge that I need so much less, and it's perfect. So much, everything. Thank you for the presentation, Bruno. It was really
You're welcome.
very, very sweet. Yeah.
So Céline, I come back to Céline. You know, you see, I think you are now at the place where mainly all of us, we were a few weeks ago, you know, and you see that we're still alive, you know, and happy. So just think of yourself, I think, first, really, and just protect yourself, protect everything, be aware of, you know, and don't listen to what television and things are saying. I think that's, I don't know who wants to give advice to Céline, because she's at the difficult moment.
Thank you, Bruno.
So Lynn, may I say something? I can't see myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lynn, I think it takes such courage, especially when your colleagues are still working, for you to listen to your heart and do what's best for you. But it's what's best for you, so that is what's best for everybody. So bravo, bravo. Puis, yeah, do everything that you can to be healthy and well and happy in your space, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Sarah? Sarah Bond, you want to say something? Oh no, she's not.
Oh, thank you. It's my son's coming in and telling me that I need to get away. Stop.
Okay.
So I made a promise to my son that I would take him to see a friend. So I think I need to go, but I'm sorry I to show up late and leave early, but I love you all. And thank you for this time together.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So you okay for a time of meditation now, maybe? Okay.
Okay.
So I lost you. Do you have my presentation? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I put it in. So just, if you want, just to be back to your inner wisdom position, you know, feel the position of your physical body, the way you feel. Okay, just be aware of your environment, and let's breathe. Feel the way you're breathing without judgment. Just follow the breathing. Feel your grounding. Feel the way we are connected to the sky. And as human, we are between earth and sky. Feel that figure 8 movement go throughout our body. Can you feel the energetic body? And just maybe we can go back to the embryology. Feel this little embryo we still are, still present in ourselves. On your vertical axis, do you feel that flexion mode? Or do you feel some tension on your vertical axis? If you can feel that flexion mode, if we come back to the heart, the primitive heart was at the crown level, at the top of the head. And then when there has been the flexion of the embryo at day 24, 25, you can feel the heart, the primitive heart went down into the chest, doing a vertical movement, but also left and right movement. In two directions of space, he did that movement, so the heart inside our chest is the only organ open to the sky. All the other organs are open to the earth. The heart is open to the sky. With the two ventricles at the base and open by the atrium, the arterial blood and the venous blood. Through that double movement down to the chest, into the chest, up, down, and left, right, there's a, you can feel the coherence between the breathing, the heartbeat, calming the thoughts. In that quietness, can you feel the air coming into your lungs, breathing in, going to the left atrium, then the blood with the oxygen, with the air, go to the left ventricle, from the left ventricle to the aorta, then through the arteries to the head, to the limbs, to the viscera, to the whole body. In that quietness, can you feel that spiraling movement? And in the middle of that movement, you know, you have quietness too. the center of the artery is not moving. And you can feel that center everywhere in the arteries of your body. The center is everywhere in the dynamic quietness. That's our dynamic non-moving fulcrum. And then breathing out, you know, the venous return to the right atrium, the right ventricle, and get out through the lungs and breathing out to get rid of the past. Just let the past, just the breathing we just had a second ago belong to our past. And from the dynamic quietness, stillness, can you feel what's happening into the brain with the cerebrospinal fluid? And from the crown, from the top of our head, you can feel the lateral ventricles of the brain, left and right. They are connected to the third ventricle. And then this quietness coming from the cerebrospinal fluid join into the chest, the center of the heart, what I call the third ventricle of the heart. Feel the connection of this central part of the heart, connection with the fulcrum in the arteries, open to the wholeness, to the self, to our interface group with all the people who left or all the people who are not present here. And then to the whole humanity. Being in that birth process and feel that reset coming, like the phoenix, you said. Feel that what's hopeful, that this is the time, and there's a potential in that time. Accepting that we are sitting with the unknown, connected to all humans. And I will finish by a question. What are we waiting for? you may add something. Thais, did you understand? You speak English? Yeah. Mm. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno, for
Satnam.
this wonderful meditation, for your wonderful presentation. And
And oh, I don't hear you anymore. Okay.
On l'a perdu.
Oui, on a perdu Bjorn. So maybe you can have this presentation. Comment ça va être, Marlyse? Si tu as enregistré, comment on peut le récupérer?
Oui, je l'ai enregistré. Je vais l'envoyer après.
D'accord. OK.
I just record the whole presentation. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just recorded. So I think I'm gonna send it to everybody with the link. And if it's too heavy, then I will put it on YouTube. Just restriction YouTube, and then you can read it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
And maybe the people who are not there can see it.
I can give.
And,
I'm gonna do that with the link.
And Sabine, I will change the picture of the group. I will look for the one where you are. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's no problem, Bruno. I know in my heart that I was there for 2 days.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I asked Manu, and she might join at a later time. She's gone this weekend.
Okay.
And I had no contact at the moment with Tash, but it's her birthday tomorrow, so maybe she's preparing.
Okay. And we have a message from Kirsten. Did you see it? She said that Rudiger and her, they had a storm, and so they had no connection because they have no more electricity.
Wow.
We have thunderstorms at the moment.
It's amazing, you know.
Wow. Well, my husband is going fishing and there is no fish in the sea either.
Oh, that's bad.
Ok. And Céline, tu es dans notre cœur. Hein?
Oui. Merci. Thank you.
Tu vois ça?
You are the one. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good to feel you all with me. Thank you all to be there. Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci, Marlyse.
No, in France, usually we do kiss and now we cannot kiss anymore. But so we're
Voilà.
we hug.
Bye-bye.
Love to see you.
Thank you. When are we going to meet again?
I don't know. In July and August, it's going to be difficult on Saturday evening for me. I will not be in board all the time, so I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe another day.
Yes, maybe.
Would be
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Merci, Marlyse.
De rien.
C'était top. Voilà. À plus tard.
Plus tard, je t'aime fort. Bisous.
Ouais, moi aussi.